I'm pretty sure that I have Jay on the line. Jay Young is the founder and president of King Operating Corporation, and they know all that we need to know about oil and gas. And of course, he knows how the markets are reacting to all the policies of this insane administration. How are you, Jay?
I'm good. That's good. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. I'm a little tired of watching my president and his administration, groveling to every enemy of America, looking to get, some oil. And of course, right now, I'm concerned about, what's going on with OPEC and how this is going to affect us.
Yeah, yeah. Good thoughts, and I'm sure that I've been on a meeting with one of our drilling some of our wells that we're doing right now, and I know that in the last hour that we've had a hit in oil prices. So you never know what's going to happen. I know there is some definites in this world and in this business, and the definites that we know of, the things that we can count on, and the way the numbers work, in my opinion, and the way that we look at what's going on. Well, we have strong demand in the United States. We'll continue to have strong demand in the United States. When China comes up and all of a sudden says, "Okay, we're going to let you guys go back to work and go back to restaurants, and we're going to open up China," that's going to, demand will go through the roof. That's going to affect us because in the United States we're not drilling as much oil as everybody might think. We're not energy independent. We don't have enough oil in the United States. We're not producing enough oil in the United States to satisfy our appetite. As George Bush mentioned years ago, he said, we need 20 million barrels of oil a day, and we're only producing, at the time was like 8 or 9 million before Trump. And so that means that we need oil from other people. So what Trump did is Trump came in with from 8.5 million barrels a day to 12.5. We're the largest producer of oil in the world, even ahead of Saudi Arabia, Russia, Iraq, Iran. Even Texas, where I'm from, we were ahead. Texas production was ahead of some countries, a lot of countries, but different story, different time. I don't know. But we're not producing oil. The anomaly here is, and I'm a fourth generation guy. I've been around a long time, fortunately, unfortunately. But what I have seen in the past is, when we make all this money in oil and gas, and we're sitting here and we're going crazy off of all the billions and billions of dollars the United States makes, we normally put that money back in the ground and continue to drill.
Right.
We continue to drill for oil in the United States. What we're seeing right now and what we're not seeing right now is oil and gas companies aren't coming back to the trough. They're not coming back and saying, oh, well, hey, these companies, we're making billions of dollars. We could continue to drill for oil and gas. They're not as they were before. That's what's going to hurt us because our demand is going to stay strong. Our supply's not there. So when musical chairs happens and the music stops and the strategic reserves isn't here, and because it shouldn't be, because we shouldn't use that for politics, but different story. Or OPEC Plus says, we're not going to give you more oil. You guys have enough oil. Go drill it yourself. I'm sure that's what Saudi Arabia's been telling Biden. We don't need to give you oil. You got plenty. Well, when he doesn't and when we're not producing it, which we're not, that's the numbers right there. We're not producing oil in the United States. We're not drilling for oil in the United States like we should be. We should be drilling in the United States. We're not. That's what's going to hurt us in the future.
Right. And
is when we need oil, we don't have it.
Right. And didn't the meeting yesterday of the OPEC and actually non-OPEC producers, you had all of them, 23 oil-producing nations, which I guess is the makes up OPEC Plus. They said, we're sticking to our policy. We're reducing oil production by about 2 million barrels per day. That's about 2% of the world demand from November until the end of 2023. What happens to the people who need oil in America? Never mind, as you said, when China reopens, all of the oil that'll be required for them. Now you got a dozen countries or more saying they're not going to buy Russian oil. we're in big trouble. I mean, oil prices are what, at $90 a barrel now?
$80 a barrel.
80.
Could
Okay.
easily be at 90 soon. 78.62 right now. It's down. It's now $1.36 right now, and I think it's because of some of the things that are happening after the weekend. And OPEC says, why should we sell you more oil for less money?
Right.
You know, that's what Biden was asking. Well, they don't want to do that. Obviously, they want to make money. Just like every country wants to make money. You know, so we just have so many different things that are so sensitive to the price of oil. And when you don't have the strategic reserves, when you don't have OPEC oil, and you need it, it's going to go up. And I believe that this is like I write in my book, The Upside of Oil and Gas Investing. Now is a better time than ever to continue to look at oil and gas investing for anybody. You know, because I mean, the government gives us tax breaks to go drill for oil and gas in the United States. We need the oil in the United States, and we're just not doing it. So that's really a challenge. It's a really big challenge that we have. Is we're not drilling for oil in the United States like we should be. With this amount of oil, we should be drilling really. We should
24/7.
increase our rig count to before COVID numbers, which we're not. We're still 25-30% less on rig count than we were before COVID. Why? I have no idea.
Yeah,
I know why, because companies aren't coming back. Why? Well, because Biden isn't very supportive on oil. He's been against fossil fuel since the day he took office, with cutting down pipelines and permits and things of that nature. So he's not very supportive, and there's a lot of institutional investors right now that are out.
Yeah.
So they're saying, no. We're not going to go back into it. We gave you trillions of dollars before during Trump, and with COVID, we got stung pretty bad investment-wise, so we're out. And the federal government, the state governments, and all these public companies, the public companies aren't coming back like they were before. They're not increasing their rig count. Exxon should double their rig count right now because they're making so much money. And what that would do, and I hope everybody gets this, is that if Exxon would increase and double their rig count, that would put more supply of oil on the market. And what that would do is that would, increase our supply. Our demand's going to be there, but it'll oversupply the demand, which means prices will come down. But until we see those numbers from supply and demand, until we see that, we're not going to help the price of oil, come down. Gasoline prices at the pump are going to remain high, and it's just like I said, it's a good time to invest in oil and gas, but it's a bad time to be a consumer. Right.
And we're at the beginning of the winter months, and we have northern states. I'm in Florida, so if it affects my air conditioning, that's a lot less profound than if I can't heat my home in upstate New York. And this is the most insensitive administration to that ever. And I'm looking at they're begging from every petty despot in the world. Venezuela, Saudi Arabia. These are not countries that we should be depending on ever. Never mind in a pivotal international marketplace like we have now. I mean, they met for 20 minutes yesterday and decided, all of this. 23 nations said, nah, screw you.
Right.
It's stunning. It's stunning, and we don't take that seriously, and we don't up our production. It's amazing. Thank you, Jay. Thank you so much for coming on. I always appreciate talking with you and hearing about how I'm actually
anytime. I love it, and I'm in it. I just love talking to you about it. So anytime, call me back. Have a great week.
Amen. That's Jay Young.
Thank
and
you.
Of course, he is the founder and president of King Operating Corporation.